Hello and welcome back to HellClock. Since they've introduced the dummy, I've taken it upon myself to go through and find out which build is the best. And I do believe this build is by far the best. In fact, this is the state of all of the builds, in my opinion, ranked up to S tier. I'll put a picture up now to show you, and as you can quite clearly see, Holy Rosary takes the absolute crown and beats everything by such a large margin. It's actually a bit of a joke, and I personally think the game is a bit broken, and I think it does need to be fixed. So developers, please, let's boost up the damage numbers for all of these other builds. They are a very fun way to play. However, what's the point of playing those ways when this thing just does so much damage? So let's get down to the actual build, shall we? As you can see with the orbs flying around, it's clearly the Holy Rosary. So then, for this Holy Rosary build that's absolutely destroying all of the others, I will take you through exactly how to build it so you can create it yourself and just melt everything before they patch it. Because why not, eh? Here's a lot of fun. It makes it very easy. Okay, let's start with the skill book. So in the skill book, obviously we need our mainstay, Holy Rosary, and we're maxing this out to 7. Next up will be the Summon the Guard. Now we only want this quite literally to get more summons. So leave that at level 1. The extra damage doesn't seem to make any difference whether you add it in or not. Having it at 1 just means we can use it more. Now, a Prayer of Vengeance gives us basically a permanent crit chance all of the time, especially when you go through the dungeon. This wait time, the cooldown time, ends up being almost 0 most of the times, and yeah, you've pretty much got it constantly. Slow time, I like to use this one. Again, I use this one on actually max. I don't know why that was on 1. And yeah, so what we're doing with this one is it's going to have a relic that goes with it, that everything inside of it makes it stronger, basically. Now, for just bobbing around the place, going faster, and also to drag your summons with you, because they do tend to lag behind a bit, I like to use Passage, and we just basically zoom about everywhere. Okay, so on to the relics. Now, make this build work at all, you do need 5 relics to begin with. So we need the Holy Rosary golden chaplet. We need the bead necklace. Doing that one again. We need the bloodied doll as well. And this one gives us the summon damage. So we've got more summons on, and it gives us the spell deck gain, which is ridiculous, right? Now, Call of the Guards. This was where we get the extra guards. So we get more summons, more spell damage, more everything. This one here is the last one that is an absolute must. This one is the Holy Rosary is cast from current summons instead of cube, but it's also then scaled with summon damage. I believe the way this is now working is that it actually scales lightning damage and summon damage together. So I believe that's why we're getting like ridiculous numbers. But hey, it's giving us ridiculous numbers. That's what we want. Now, to top this all off and make it insanely powerful, what we do is written promise. Now, with this written promise, it says spells gain 21% of your conviction as damage. Now, this is tier 3, and I have leveled it up a bit. That might be slightly lower for you guys. However, point is, it gives you conviction as damage. Now, you pair this with the holy water, whereas when you use a potion, it gives you conviction instead. Basically, you spam your potion button, you end up with a ridiculous amount of conviction, and then, yeah, as you can see, then that powers that up even more. And oh my god, do the numbers fly. Okay, so ticket is also needed for passage. This basically lets you bring your summons with you. Like I said, just makes it easy to go around the map. And to be fair, oh, the last one is Death Notary. The Death Notary, this is the one where things inside the bubble take more damage. So when you're bossing, but to be fair, you don't really need it. You're so powerful anyway. Yeah, yeah, but it does, you know, every little helps. As for other relics, it kind of doesn't matter, to be honest with you, as long as you've got those main ones. However, I would definitely advise to go for skill projectile amount. Now I've got 2 lots of these, which makes me spawn 4 orbs each time I click. Now more orbs, more damage. So I would definitely advise it, and that is why this build is just ridiculous. As for this one and this one, they are just there because I needed to fill a space, to be honest with you. And this one had lightning damage, sub-prefix, so why the hell not, right? Okay, so in the Great Bell, again, I have gone spell damage, and we've gone summon damage. And spell damage and summon damage. Damage. We've gone for some extra crit damage. Ideally, I would want some crit damage here. Now, overall, I think I've got something like 87 points to spend. And this is how I've spent them to get through the dungeons. Just so. The last on the menu will be the constellations. First, we're going to take the 3 in the middle, just so we can start unlocking the paths. Then we're looking for lightning damage. So we head up here to lightning damage, and then we also finish this one off. Get the orbs deal additional lightning damage equal to 5% of your current mana. My mana's pretty high. Your power orbs regenerate 50% mana as well. So we're generating our power orbs from here. Yeah, it just stacks ridiculous. And then this one here generally gives us more lightning damage and shock duration. We're not using lasso. We don't need this. However, I wanted to complete it so we could unlock the summon section. So we want summon damage, and then get another orb or active summon, and then that gives us mana regeneration and all that goodness. Now down here, this is the big one. Spell skill damage percentage. Another spell damage spelling. Just ridiculous. Like these 2 alone generate like push the build over so much. It's ridiculous. This one's not really that useful, be honest with you. However, if you are low life, it does kick in and you've got a chance to then pull back. And then spell cooldown speed, you're always going to want to be cooling down as quick as possible. Now I have taken the gold one because I'm on veteran level now, and gold is a bit more difficult to get hold of. And also, as you pick up gold, you gain more damage, and you're constantly picking up gold, so you're constantly more damage. And then finally, we've gone for crit damage. Crit damage going to be useful with Prayer of Vengeance. Now, with all of that in tow, it does a ridiculous amounts of damage. So now that we have our test dummy, what we can do is we can just spam all of our abilities, and if you just keep an eye on those numbers, that's the sort of damage you're going to be doing. Like that's a billion, okay? And I'm not even trying. And the summons, they just keep coming. They just keep coming. I just keep pumping them out, and I can put down the orb. And yeah, I mean, this is broken. Right? If please in the comments below, let me know if there is a stronger build than this, and I just haven't quite found it. I know the Veil of Quills is also quite a good build, but nothing compares to this in my testing I've done. Like, none, not at all. I'll put up some numbers on the screen somewhere between the Quill Veils and this one, and I did some like 10-second testing to see how much DPS was. And this one was doing somewhere along the lines of like 300 million, and Veil of Quills was only breaching around like 30 million. So unless I've got that build completely wrong, then yeah, like future Jimmy here. I just wanted to butt in. During the editing, I realised I didn't use the potion during damaging the dummy. Now, the use of the potion turns this build completely nuclear. Now, pay close attention, maybe play it back in slow speed, because if you blink, you might miss it. Now, I only get one chance at this because you can't replenish your potions in the sort of hub area. So I will activate the dummy once again. I will activate all of the skills, and you just watch those numbers go down the minute I activate the potion. Okay, ready? Here goes everything. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Boshty, boshty, bosh. And ready for the potions. Keep looking. There's the potions. That's 2 billion. What's that? Like 2.5 billion in about what? 2 seconds? Something silly like that. Can you imagine walking into a boss and just going, right, okay, bosh, bosh, done. Especially, and this is base. I just want to clarify this. This is base value before heading into a dungeon. This is just how ridiculously broken this build is. Right. There we go. I've had my say. Back to the rest of the video. Come on, surely. Like, this is just broken. Oh, anyway, there we go. I just wanted to bring this attention to everyone who's into this game at the moment, because this does feel a little bit unfair, and I don't want them to nerf it. However, they must do, because it just seems pointless using any of the other builds, and it kind of ruins the game a bit, in my opinion. So, developers, if you're watching, fix this, please. Thank you. Right, I'm going to go into the dungeon and destroy everything before it's nerfed. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.